guys, it's Mia. Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys how to wrap your bouquets. Now today, I'm going to be showing you guys just the traditional, typical like triangle style wrapping. I will make more videos later on how to wrap in other different ways and styles, but for today, we're just going to be doing like your standard triangle wrapping. So what you're going to need is you're going to need your paper. I get my paper off of Amazon. My Amazon storefront will be linked down below if you guys are in need of floral supplies, but that is typically where I get my paper from. And then any of my designer paper comes from Steph's Floral Supplies on Instagram. You can send her a DM to place an order. She is my go-to person for my designer wraps. Now, what you're also going to need for this is you're going to need a stapler. Now, some people like to use glue. Some people like to use tape. I like to use a stapler. So what you're going to do is you're going to grab your sheet. And as you can see, I'm placing my hand on the back, like the back/bottom side to like kind of hold it. And then my other hand's going on top. Once my hand's on top, I'm going to like shift it to the side, and then that's where you're going to start to see the triangles form. So the further out you go, the bigger the triangles will be, and the further in you are, the smaller the triangles are going to be. So if the triangles are really big, you're going to use less paper. Kind of like this, that's how big they will be. And if they're smaller, you will need more paper, but I definitely think smaller triangles make your wrap look a lot neater. So once you have it like shifted to the side and you see how big you want your triangles, you're then going to just kind of flip, and then there you're going to see all 4 triangles lined up at the very top. Now you can fold down the creases all the way down if you'd like, and then you're just going to go in with your tape, your glue, whatever it is that you want, and that's how you're going to secure your wrap. So again, I like to use a stapler. It's just easier that way. So I'm just going in with my stapler, and we're just going to staple this so that it holds it all together. And then we're going to do this a couple more times because you are going to need multiple sheets. So for this, I'm doing a 50 count. So I think I used about 4 sheets of paper in total. But again, it really just depends on how big or small your triangles end up being. Depends on how many sheets of paper you're going to need. But I'm going to show you guys a couple more times here where you're just kind of moving it to the side, and then you're flipping, and then you're stapling. And that's how you're going to do that. Like I mentioned, I will be doing more wrapping tutorials. So if there's a specific type of wrapping style that you're looking to learn how to do, just let me know in the comments and I will make sure to make a video for you guys. So again, here I am. I think this was my last sheet of paper that I went through, and I'm just folding it over, and then we're stapling it. Now it's time to actually add it to our bouquet. So you're going to grab your bouquet, and you're going to also grab your tape. I am a tape girly. It is easiest for me to use tape. So we're going to be using tape today on this bouquet. So once you have your bouquet, you're going to grab your sheet of paper. Now it is different ways you can go about attaching it. I like to attach it this way. I like to put the sheet on top of the bouquet and line it up this way. This is how I prefer to wrap. Now, some people like to do it the opposite way, where they lay the sheet of paper on the table and they lay it flat like this, and then they put the bouquet on top so they can see better. That's a great way, but for me, it just doesn't work. So I do it this way. Now, the higher you go, the more paper that's going to be shown. The lower you go, the less paper that's going to be shown. So you can kind of see me going up and down just to show you guys the different ways if you're choosing to like line it up however you want. Then you're going to go in with your tape, and I just tape it right at the bottom, and I just go all the way around, and then that is how you secure it. Now I'm going in with my hands to really straighten out and get all the creases out because we want it to look as smooth and neat as possible. And then we're going to go ahead and rotate the bouquet. So you're going to rotate the bouquet because now we have to line up the rest of our sheets of paper, and we need to line them up with the triangles and make sure everything looks nice and neat. So now that I rotate it, I grab my second sheet, and as you can see, I'm lining it up. Not only are we lining it up to make sure the height matches, but we want to make sure the triangles line up perfectly as well too. So once I see that everything is lined up perfectly, I'm just going to go in with my tape, and we're just going to tape around and make sure it's all nice and secure. Again, you want to make sure that you're also going in and you're removing all those creases. You want it to look nice and neat. Now, once the creases are out, once it's taped, I'm going to then grab my stapler, and we're just going to staple those 2 sheets together. So as you can see, I'm showing you guys right here where we added that second sheet of paper, and we're going in and we're stapling it to the very first sheet so that it is all nice and secure. Now, I do use quite a couple of staples because I like my bouquets to be really, really secure. So I do go in with quite a lot of staples, but this is just like a preference thing. You can use hot glue, you can use tape. If you don't like the look of the staples, it's up to you. But that's pretty much all you have to do is you're just adding your sheet and you're going around and then you're stapling. Now for our very last sheet, once you go ahead and you add your last sheet, once you staple it to that previous sheet, I then like to take the bouquet and I like to take the paper and I like to pull the sheets really, really close, tight together, just so that there's no gaps in between and that like it doesn't look like a lot of open space. So as you can see, I'm stapling right here to the previous sheet, and now it's time to staple everything together so that the bouquet is fully wrapped. So as you can see right here, I'm taking the sheet and I'm really just like pulling everything tight, nice and tight here, and then we're going to staple it just like that. And that is pretty much how you wrap your bouquet. It's very simple, very, very easy. This is the best way. This is the best way, especially if you are a beginner. This is the best way I think you should learn to wrap. This is the perfect style. But there you have it. Super cutesy, very nice and neat. And let me know what kind of tutorials you guys want to see, and I'll see you guys in my next video.